not a good choice, not a good choice.
I'd wish that everyone had everything. If you could look inside yourself and find the meaning of your wealth.
Hi everybody, this is Karen Lambert with Loving Rochester. I hope you're having a wonderful day today. Thank you again for joining me for another day of Karen's Corner. Let's get into today's inspirational tip. I woke up this morning wanting to have an argument with somebody, anybody. I'm sure it's a buildup of all sorts of buried feelings. I've had a really heavy workload lately with no time to get any balance in my life. I know better. I know that all the work and no play does not make for a happy person or a serene life. But I am a human being, and although I try to live the message as a general rule, I do have slips. Yelling at another person will not do me or them any good at all. No one has the right to do that. And you will notice, as I have, that whenever you let loose on another person, the remorse and shame afterward is worse than whatever it was that made you angry. As with any dysfunction, it is important to recognize patterns of behavior. I know that when I take on a heavy workload, I tend to get sloppy with my eating habits. For instance, I'll start drinking real coffee in the morning because I convince myself that I need the buzz. Caffeine is the worst thing I can do for my personal body chemistry. I have done... Alright, blah, blah, blah. As a mature adult, I realize that it is my responsibility to take good care of myself, and that involves knowing the effect that food or stress has on me. Knowing caffeine affects me badly should be sufficient to keep me from ingesting it. What a true poison it is to my body. Alas, knowing and doing are two different things. Ain't that the truth? Alas, knowing what is good for us and doing what is good for us is two different things. By taking the first sip of real coffee, I must accept the responsibility for my behavior. As I write this, it is very clear the mature thing to do would be to put the coffee down and grow up. Part of growing up is recognizing your behavior patterns. This is the first step in getting well. If you find yourself going through the same old thing again, start looking at why you keep creating the same behavior pattern. This is the first step in getting well. If you find yourself going through the same old thing again and again, start asking yourself why you keep repeating the same behavior patterns. Once you see the patterns, you will be able to change them more easily. Thought for today. I will recognize the part I am playing in creating mood swings, and I will make a sincere effort to avoid the things that upset my delicate balance. If I am working too hard, I will find time in my schedule to rest and take time out, and not resort to sugary foods that will make me edgy and irritable. Most of all, I will accept the responsibility for my moods if indeed I did create them, and I will not put the blame on those I love the most. I know I can relate to this one, and maybe you can relate to it too. My body is very sensitive to foods, and here I am now. I am heavier than I think I've ever been in my life, except maybe when I was pregnant. Last year was a very stressful year for me, and even though I knew I was making bad choices with my food, I did it anyway because I was telling myself, oh, well, I'm sad, or this or that, I didn't care at that time enough to make the proper choices for me. I stopped exercising, I wasn't eating well, and now I'm paying for it. The ramifications are here. So recently, thank God I've gotten back into exercising because I need to exercise. I need to exercise, and there's certain foods that are like poison to my body, and I need to pay attention to those things. Because if I don't, I'm going to suffer some sort of consequence, whether it's extra fat on my body. Now, Suzanne doesn't like her coffee, and I know I've heard that coffee is bad for you, but I just love coffee, so I'm sorry, I'm not giving up coffee. But that's to each person. Some people can't handle coffee, some people can. Maybe I shouldn't be doing it, but that is one vice I love. So ask yourself and think, What am I doing to jeopardize my health and my happiness? Am I eating like I should? Am I smoking? Am I drinking too much? All these things are things that are going to hurt us in the long run and that we shouldn't be doing. We should be treating our body as a temple, like they say. You know, I've recently started going to the gym again. I used to go to the gym quite a bit. And I love going to the gym. I love exercising. It's always kind of hard to get back into it when you haven't gone in a while. But thankfully now I'm on my 3rd week of getting back into it, and so far so good. So hopefully, you know, things will continue and I will keep making the right choices, because we have to think, you know, it's more than just that moment of satisfaction where you're eating, you know, candy or chocolate. Like, chocolate's one of my biggest downfalls. I love chocolate. You know, so, but when you sit there and you eat too much chocolate, like my body can't handle sugar. I can't handle sugar and I can't handle carbs. So but those are things that, you know, we crave, that I want, and yet when I do, you know, I end up with extra baggage. So, you know, I don't want the extra baggage, so I gotta stop eating those things like pizza. God forbid, you know, stay away, pizza, I don't want you, you know, but part of me thinks I do until I have it, and then I end result, you know, where my clothes don't fit and I have to go buy all new clothes, and that's a horrible experience. You know, when your clothes don't fit, that's an awful experience. Spring's coming. I don't want to have all this extra baggage on me when summer comes or spring comes. I want to be able to wear clothes and actually feel good about myself. So, you know, definitely I have to make the wiser choices. I mean, if I only would have stayed making those wise choices, making those choices that I know are important and good for my body, ones that my body can handle, then I wouldn't be in this predicament that I'm in. So think in your life how you are sabotaging yourself. I sabotaged myself last year. You know, I can say I blame it on, you know, my father dying, which, is that a good excuse? Probably not. But I was emotionally eating. So, you know, here I am. Now I'm like, okay, I got to do something about this. Be active, be physically fit. I used to dance quite a bit. I haven't gone dancing in a long time. That's another activity. I used to go hiking all the time. Find things that you can do, you know, if you are, let's say food's your problem or you're not exercising, find things that you can do that are fun for you. Find things that you will enjoy doing, and that way you will get more health and happiness in your life. Being physically fit, whether, you know, you don't have to be a perfect size, whatever. You just have to be active to keep that heart muscle strong, to keep your lungs producing, you know, proper oxygen amounts. And it's amazing what healthy activity will do for you, along with healthy food options. You know, stay away from those sodas. Those sodas are so bad for you. I really try not to buy any sodas. We are a water and coffee house. You know, and thank God I never really let my kids drink juice, so that hasn't been a problem. But, you know, juices are very bad. If you're giving your kids full juice and not watered down, that's really not good for them. I really would advise you not to do that. But so think in your life, how are you making, you know, decisions that aren't good for you? What choices are you making? What, you know, foods are you eating that you know you shouldn't be eating? Or maybe it's work. Maybe you're not doing, you know, what you should be doing for work, or whatever it may be. We know when we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing. You know, something will be inside us telling us, hey, you know, not a good choice, not a good choice. We don't always listen to it, but it is there. Pay attention to yourself. Because, you know, down the road, we're not going to be very happy if we keep making these bad choices. One bad choice here and there, it's easy to get back on the wagon. But if you're constantly making the bad choice over and over again, you're going to end up with bad results. This is Karen Lambert with Loving Rochester. I hope you have an amazing day. Please come back again tomorrow for another Karen's Corner. Also, please go to Facebook at Loving Rochester and YouTube, Loving Rochester. And please like and subscribe and ring the bell so you can be notified when there's a new video. And find us on lovingrochester.com. See you tomorrow.